On the wedding day, it wasn't me, the bride in a pure white dress, kissing my husband, but somehow his childhood friend, Julie.
It's just for fun. Don't get mad.
Yeah, it's just for the memories.
Let's make this wedding memorable, shall we? This is a story about when I surprised my husband and his childhood friend during our wedding. My name is Emma. I work for a video production company and I'm in my 30s. I got married 3 years ago and now I'm balancing work with household duties. I met my husband, Tom, through work. At a party with our business partners, I somehow missed the chance to join any conversation circles and ended up drinking alone in a corner. It was Tom who came over and started talking to me. Since we both shared a hobby of camping, our conversation flowed easily. It didn't take long before we started going out to eat together, and soon after, we began dating. One day, during a camping date, Tom proposed to me under the starry sky. It was an ideal proposal, just like in a picture-perfect story, and of course, I happily accepted. We then started preparing for our wedding by visiting each other's parents. However, during this time, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and we couldn't have the wedding ceremony we had been looking forward to. So we just registered our marriage and began our newlywed life. With the pandemic, working from home became the norm, and we spent most of our newlywed period at home. Normally, being newlyweds and working from home might sound relaxing, but it wasn't the case for Tom. Due to his naturally active personality, Tom began to feel stressed. Before long, his smile disappeared, and he seemed irritated even when he wasn't working, and he started drinking more. Concerned for his health and looking for a way to relieve his stress, I made a suggestion. Hey, how about we go camping for the first time in a while? There won't be any crowds and it could be a nice change of pace.
Yeah, but if we're going camping, I'd like to make it a bit lively. We can't invite my colleagues in this situation. Oh, I know. Can I invite my childhood friend? They are probably free too. And of course, we'll set up our tents separately.
Thinking it was a male friend he was close with, I immediately agreed. But when we arrived at the campsite, I was shocked. What? Your friend is a woman?
This is Julie, my childhood friend. We grew up like siblings because our houses were close. She's also been into camping since we were kids.
Nice to meet you. I've been good friends with Tom for a long time. Looking forward to today.
Julie greeted us casually, but seeing a smile on Tom's face I had never seen before made their closeness evident to me. Hi, I'm Emma, Tom's wife. Nice to meet you. I was surprised that his friend was a woman, but I thought it was no big deal at the time. We set up our tents apart and kept our distance during meals. However, despite saying she loved camping, Julie struggled to set up her tent alone, and Tom helped her.
Tom, you're really good at this.
I tried not to let it bother me, but every time I heard their voices, it did. Julie's voice seemed a bit flirty to me. I don't have any childhood friends of the opposite sex, so maybe this is just how it is when you've known someone since you were kids. After this, Julie started joining us on our camping trips. At night, we'd sometimes have drinks, and there was even a time when Julie leaned on Tom after having too much.
You've had too much to drink. Go back to your tent.
At that time, Tom didn't seem to have any ulterior motives and genuinely appeared to be concerned for her. Because of this, I also thought that Tom and Julie were truly good friends. 2 years into our marriage, the pandemic ended. Work returned to normal, and Tom and I could commute to our jobs again. We started dining out more, and Tom began drinking with his colleagues after work more often. Finally, we decided to have the wedding ceremony we had originally planned. We had been married for 2 years, and although it felt a bit late, we really wanted our parents to see us happy. Our parents and friends also strongly encouraged us to have the wedding as a memorable event. So we decided to have the wedding ceremony after all. The preparations after that were truly challenging. There were so many decisions to make, like the date, venue, dress, menu, and guest list, and we spent nearly all our weekends preparing for it. But Tom was often busy with work, coming home late, and frequently working on weekends. So I ended up doing all the preparations by myself.
Aren't weddings basically for the bride to have some fun? You can do whatever you like.
Tom said, leaving everything to me. But there will be your friends and colleagues at the wedding too, so I need your help.
No, really. You can do whatever you want. Please.
Tom replied, still leaving everything to me. However, he did remember to say,
Make sure you invite Julie.
aren't there other friends besides your childhood friend? Why only insist on Julie? I had a bad feeling about this. Okay, I'll invite Julie. But don't you have other friends? Why are you so insistent on inviting just her?
She's been bugging me to make sure she's invited.
When did he talk to Julie? I decided to press further. Have you been seeing Julie recently?
What? No, not at all. I wonder how she's doing.
Hearing this, I felt even more suspicious. It was truly a woman's intuition.
Working on the weekend again today.
On the next day off, Tom said the same thing again. So I decided to investigate. I hope my intuition is wrong. That day, I asked Tom, I'm going to the venue again today. I should be back by the evening. Can you come later?
I have to finish a proposal by the end of this month, so I might be late again. Sorry to leave it all to you, but I know everything will be perfect with you in charge.
Tom was leaving everything to me again. Okay, if he's leaving everything to me, I'll do what I think is right. I left the apartment first and watched the entrance from outside. Soon, a familiar woman entered the building. Yes, it was Julie. She entered smoothly, as if it wasn't her first time. I had planned to actually go to the venue if my intuition was wrong, but now I couldn't. I informed the venue that I wouldn't be able to make it and went to a cafe where I could watch the apartment entrance. About 3 hours later, Tom and Julie came out together, arm in arm. I knew it. Shocked, I decided to follow them. The two of them went into a restaurant. They sat by the window so I could see them chatting happily and even holding hands across the table. Unable to bear it, I walked into the restaurant. I approached them and, pretending not to know, asked, Oh, what are you two doing here? Tom, weren't you supposed to be at work? Tom quickly let go of her hand and said to me,
Oh, I happened to finish work early. I went out for a break and just ran into Julie, so we decided to have lunch.
Really? Oh, Julie, it's been a while. What brings you here today?
I was just out shopping and happened to run into Tom. So I thought I'd let him treat me to something nice.
Emma, weren't you supposed to be at the venue today?
Oh, I got tired, so I decided to come home early. And since you said you'd be late, I thought I'd have dinner alone. But can I join you?
Of course.
Tom said that, but I didn't miss the displeased look on Julie's face. However, without any evidence, I couldn't confront them. When we got home, I checked the apartment but found no proof of anything. So for now, I couldn't pursue it further. But when did this start? I wondered. Considering they're childhood friends, they've probably been close since before I knew him. After some thought, I decided to contact Tom's college friend, Laura. Laura was in the same camping club as Tom in college, and he had invited her along on group camping trips so that I could enjoy myself more when we had just started dating. We got along well and occasionally kept in touch. Before our wedding, I invited Laura out for a drink. It was difficult to bring up, but Laura noticed I wasn't looking very cheerful and started the conversation.
Hey, what's up? Are you going through the wedding blues?
I decided to go for it and asked, "Well, there's something that's been bothering me. Have you ever heard of Tom's childhood friend, Julie? She's a woman."
Oh, I know her. Even though she was from a different university, she used to join our club activities. I mean, we didn't mind her participating, but her presence always made everyone tense.
What? Did something happen?
How can I put it? She was very possessive. She would interfere whenever another girl tried to talk to Tom. Everyone thought it was too much, even if she was his girlfriend.
What? Julie was his girlfriend?
Yes, didn't you know? They had been dating since high school. She used to come to our university often and was always clinging to Tom.
So Julie was not just a childhood friend, but also an ex-girlfriend. I told Laura about what I had seen recently.
Oh, I think it's exactly what you think it is.
Do you really think so?
Yes, but the wedding is soon, right? What are you going to do?
First, regardless of what I do, whether it be break them up or divorce him, I need to gather evidence. Tom has left all the preparations to me while he's having an affair. Since he's deceiving me and letting me prepare for the wedding, he probably doesn't plan to leave me. He's hoping to continue his current relationship as long as he can. I absolutely refuse to continue in this situation. I must get the evidence no matter what. Laura, come shopping with me. I headed to New York to buy something. For the next few months, Tom continued to leave all the wedding preparations to me. He probably didn't suspect that I was onto him, and he often used working weekends as an excuse to come home late on weekdays too. During that time, I acted as if I hadn't noticed anything. Then, on the long-awaited wedding day, I dressed in the pure white gown I had chosen alone. Since Tom told me to do whatever I wanted, I picked the finest dress I could find. As I put on my accessories and chose a handkerchief, I realized I had taken Tom's handkerchief by mistake. I decided to take it to his waiting room. But when I opened the door to the waiting room, there was a woman in a pure white dress. She was sitting on Tom's lap, kissing his cheek, and they were taking photos, ignoring me, the bride. What the? I couldn't help but voice my shock at the unexpected scene. What are you doing, Julie? And you too, Tom?
No, it's not like that. She's just a bit drunk.
Tom hurriedly tried to explain.
It's just for fun. Don't get mad.
Julie, looking slightly tipsy, said with a silly grin.
Yeah, it's just for the memories.
Tom tried to laugh it off as well. Oh, I see. I felt my heart grow colder. I thought if that's how they wanted to play it, fine. The last bit of hesitation I had completely disappeared. I'll end this relationship myself. I've prepared everything for today. Let's make this a memorable wedding. Finally, the ceremony began. Tom and Julie were sitting as if nothing had happened. But with Julie in a pure white dress among the guests, others were looking at her with suspicion. They probably thought she was an ill-mannered woman. But the guests yet to know how truly gross they are. The ceremony proceeded smoothly and reached its midpoint. Suddenly, the venue went completely dark, marking the start of my surprise. A large monitor screen appeared, displaying the title, The Journey of the Two. I smiled at Tom and Julie. A gift from me. Don't you know what I do for my job? Yes, my job is a video editor. Editing the footage I shot is a piece of cake.
What is this?
Tom, who didn't understand anything, looked excited. But what appeared on the screen was footage of Tom and Julie getting cozy at our home. Yes, this video was the journey of the two for Julie and Tom.
What is this?
The venue started buzzing. On the screen, Julie and Tom were sitting on the bed, holding hands and talking.
Hey, aren't you going to leave Emma?
Divorce is a hassle, right? Plus, she makes housework easier and I can have fun on my days off. Besides, you have a boyfriend.
I actually prefer you, Tom, but my boyfriend buys me things. Just recently, I asked for a designer bag, and he said he'd get it for me. Look, he bought me this bag.
Wow, are you just using him?
Well, he works at a good company, so I should benefit from it.
The murmurs in the venue grew louder. Tom was visibly flustered. The video continued to play.
Hey, which hotel are we going to today?
Well, we went to that new one last time, so let's go to a hotel a bit farther away today.
That one has a lot of room service options, which is nice.
Next, the footage showed them in my car. They had been using my car to go to the hotel. When I first found out they were using my car for their rendezvous, I was furious, but it was all for this day. I had captured solid evidence with the car's dashcam footage and audio. I thought they must have considered me a fool for not erasing the dashcam footage. As these videos continued to play, Tom finally shouted,
What is this? It's fake. Stop it.
but just then, two people with furious expressions appeared beside him. It was Tom's parents, Alice and John.
Tom, what is this?
No, this is a mistake.
How could you do this when you have someone like Emma?
Meanwhile, in another part of the venue, other couples were arguing. One of them was Julie.
Stop it.
Julie, what the hell is this?
The man arguing with Julie was her boyfriend, Sam, who was actually one of Tom's friends and a guest at the wedding. This was something I hadn't known, but it was a stroke of luck.
That's fake. Don't believe it.
How can you expect me not to believe it? Did you choose me because of the company I work for? Even that expensive bag you asked for was a designer brand.
No, it's not like that. Please believe me.
Then give me back that bag I bought for you.
What? No, well,
How can I trust you? We're done.
Sam stormed out of the venue. Julie, her face red with anger and embarrassment, came over to me and said,
what the hell is this? This is your doing, isn't it?
Yes, I prepared it to surprise you and Tom. Was the surprise a success?
What? How could you do this? Because of you, Sam dumped me.
What are you talking about? You're the one sleeping with someone else's husband in front of your own boyfriend. There's the proof right there. And you were just kissing Tom in the waiting room. Hearing this, Alice and John, who were nearby, turned red with anger and glared at Tom.
Tom, you.
But Julie came on to me. I told her I was married, but she kept coming after me.
Tom tried to blame Julie to save himself.
What? What are you talking about? You said you preferred me.
I never said that. Emma, please believe me.
Tom, now in tears and sweating profusely, clung to me. But with all this evidence, I had no intention of believing him. No matter who started it, the fact is you crossed the line. I can't trust you anymore. So let's get a divorce, I said with a smile. Oh, and I'll be billing you for the wedding expenses and alimony. I turned on my heel and returned to the waiting room. This will probably be the first and last time I wear this pure white dress. It turned out to be quite a wedding, but at least I got to wear the finest dress. As I admired myself in the mirror, there was a knock on the door. Laura.
You did it. You were amazing.
Hearing that, I felt relieved and tears began to fall. Laura had helped me with the preparations up until today. She gently patted my back as I cried. These weren't tears of regret. Rather, they were tears of triumph. I had managed to pull one over on Tom and Julie. I may not have been lucky with my husband, but at least I gained a good friend through Tom. Later, I claimed alimony from Tom through a lawyer and divorced him. I also billed him for the wedding expenses, and he was quite shocked by the amount. And for good reason. Since Tom had told me to do whatever I wanted, I chose the most expensive dress and gifts. It was his fault for leaving everything to me. Tom had invited his colleagues to the wedding, and word spread at his company about what a cheating jerk he was. He felt so uncomfortable that he eventually quit his job. As for Julie, I demanded alimony from her too. The problem was, she has never really worked and just helped around the house. Even selling her designer goods couldn't cover for the alimony, so her parents had to pay on her behalf. They told her, "You must pay us back by working. Otherwise, we will cut ties with you." I heard Julie ended up working and living at a factory or a ranch in the countryside, crying all the while. Considering she had never lived alone or worked before, she must be struggling a lot. A few years have passed since then, and I thought I was done with marriage, but I had an unexpected encounter. The person I met was Laura's brother. Since then, Laura and I have become best friends, often going camping and doing other activities together. One time, her brother joined us on a camping trip, and the campfire meal he made was incredibly delicious. I learned that he is a chef at a restaurant, which coincidentally was near my workplace. I was so captivated by his cooking that I started visiting his restaurant regularly, and with Laura's help, we started dating. Now I am married to him, and on weekends, I enjoy his delicious homemade meals.